Alright, Scorpio or Scorpio cross watcher, are you guys single? Because that's what somebody wants to know. Unless this is reversed, but somebody wants to know. I wrote down exactly what I was getting. Are you single? Do you mess with an ex still? Are you open to date? Like, it just depends on who you are, if and how somebody knows you. Like, if it's an online thing, or if it's like a neighbor or somebody at your job, or someone who's walked in, they don't see a ring on your finger, or maybe they've not been close enough to see a ring on your finger. Somehow, some way, for some of you, somebody can't really tell, but they've been literally wondering this. Why? My thing is, why would somebody be wondering this unless they like are that interested in you? I do feel like somebody is. I feel somebody is very interested in you, and maybe even more for some, maybe even more than interested. They could be all right out. Like, I already know that I want to date you. I already know that I would ask you out. I have no doubt. I have no doubt. I have no question that I would ask you to be my girl right now. I would ask you out. I would take you out. I would do whatever you wanted. I'd wife you up, shit, you know? If I just have to know where you stand, like, maybe they know you're single, but then they're thinking, yeah, okay, you're single, but does that mean you don't, like, you're done with your exes, right? Like, done, as in you don't have feelings for your ex anymore, or any ex, you're not still in love with them, you don't still sleep with anybody, right? Like, I need to know. I want to know exactly where you stand. If they know all of that, they may be like, well, maybe they know all of that and they know you're not into an ex of yours, and they know that you're not in a relationship. But then they could be thinking, if that's the case, the only reason I haven't approached you yet or told you how I really feel is because you've put it out there that you don't want a relationship, you don't want love, whatever. So, like, I mean, I would just come out and ask you, but I don't even know if you want to be bothered with it. Okay, it reminds me of Sagittarius' message I just did. You may want to watch that one. But it's like, sorry, that's my grand doggy. She wants to go outside. My daughter probably went and cook something in the kitchen, so she wants to go out into the kitchen. But anyway, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. So basically, do you talk to anyone else? Are you interested in anyone else? Somebody really wants to know here, unless this is entirely reversed. It's just along the lines of, I really do like you. I like you more than I've even been able to tell you. And I kind of want to know where you stand, If somebody has seen anyone with you, if this is an individual who has seen anybody around you at all, period, especially in person, depending on how you were, I guess how close you were standing to somebody, depending on where they saw you with somebody, like if it's at your house, someone's wondering, who is that? Is that your friend? Is that your ex? Is that your brother, your sister? Who is that? You know what I mean? If they saw you out and about, like, what am I drawing? At like a restaurant or something, wherever people go, if you were with anyone, they may wonder, like, who is that person you were with? Is this somebody that you entertain? And in what way do you entertain them, And so basically, I think somebody wants to get serious with an individual here, but they just need to know exactly where this person stands, because somebody's not going to get with someone here or even approach them and ask them out if they feel like somebody here is, well, one, taken, or two, still has feelings for somebody, or wants to be with other people, or don't want to be with nobody at all. Like, if this is somebody who's like, nope, I don't want to be with anyone at all, it's like you could have a person who's like, or who's dying to ask the question, like, are you sure? If you're 100% sure that you don't want to be with anyone, you don't want to, date anyone ever again, that you're celibate or something, or that you never want to get married or married again, then I won't even approach you. I'll leave you alone, or I won't ask again. But I just want to know. Because you can say all day that you don't want to date anymore and that you want this and that, but you also haven't really got to know me, or you have never met me or something, right? So, like, how do you know? Maybe you just needed to find the right one. And what if I'm it? What if I am that right person? And, like, are you willing to give me a chance? Would you be willing to open your heart to me? And if so, not bring any of your fear from past relationships into it. Like, would you be willing to basically start fucking fresh? Start fresh with me. Throw out all the old as if you would food from a refrigerator, and allow me in completely. Would you be willing to do that? Because I would be willing to do that for you. This is what somebody's saying. unless this is you. Right? Now, it could also be like, I don't know. If anyone's in a relationship here, somebody could be thinking like, would you be willing to have a baby with me? Would you be willing to have another baby? Any other babies? Would you be willing to get married? Maybe we already have a relationship going, or this will be near future. Once something starts going, that'll be the next question that gets begged. Begs to ask the question, you know, would you marry me? Would you be willing to fall in love with me? Would you be willing to have children with me? Do you love me? Do you want love at all? It's actually really sweet, guys, and I was trying not to take too long talking about the messages that I've been doing the past 3 days. You know, it looks like I haven't posted in 3 days, right? But actually, I have posted. They're all on my YouTube. They're just not, they're unlisted because I'm going through a lot spiritually, like a whole lot. If you can't tell, you can probably feel it coming off me. But I've also had to do a lot for my mom because she's about to have that surgery, and so you mix that into the everything going on with the planets and just a lot of downloads that I'm getting. This is the 3rd message I've done for Scorpio. That's why I said you may want to watch Sagittarius message. Some of you could have been thinking, how'd you do Sagittarius before ours? Well, because I needed a break from Scorpio. This is my 3rd message. I had already done 2, but they were very different. So let me throw that in here real quick. I'm going to sum up both those videos. I did a bonus and a whole ass entire message, and they were long. They were the longest messages I've had. Maybe I'll screenshot it and put it up here. You hear that bird? Messenger. You will have more than one person who approaches you. The one I'm picking up in this message, this one is the one that if you're open and if you want love and if you want someone serious, this would be the one you would go for. The ones I picked up in these other 2 messages, or whoever that person is, if it's just one, I think you need to stay away from that person. Like, there's somebody here who will carry, oh man, I don't know how to explain this person other than it may seem easier and more like you're attracted to this person because, how do I word this? If you were to have 2 options, right? And maybe you, like, I'm not saying you went and had these options, like you were looking for these options. I don't know how you have them as options, and because some people are like, well, I don't want to be an option. It's not like that. It's just like 2 males, let's say, that come into your life at the same time. That's just an example. It's the only way I can think to say it, because then people will be like, well, I'm not an option. I get that. Okay, but let's say you're a feminine energy and 2 males come into your life at the same time, okay? And one of them, oh, it's a truck or something backing up. One of them you're more drawn to than the other one. Not because of looks. They're both pretty equal in looks. You may be very attracted to both of them. However, it's just like a vibe, right? Like, one of them you are like, you even find yourself maybe even obsessing over at first because you're like so drawn to this person. Now, this does not have to be the exact example. You could even be a male watching me. It could be 2 feminines. It could be women, men, don't matter. Okay? Just an example to kind of get what I'm getting here. But something about it tells you, oh, it's probably not the one. Like, I don't know, you know? Maybe you shouldn't, especially if this person is taken. But then you have another individual who, you know, they get on your radar somehow too, and maybe they show up after this person. Sorry, I'm looking. It's just like a really big truck for such a small space. Anyway, maybe they're like big, you know, one of these people that one of these options in the near future, maybe they're big or they're just really like, you know, I don't know. Anyway, so then you have another the other one, right? They kind of show up a little bit after this other individual, or maybe not, maybe the timing doesn't matter, but you're not as necessarily as drawn to this person up front. And the only reason I can say that is because they didn't stand out to you as much as this other person. It doesn't mean that they're not as physically attractive and that you don't have the vibes. It's just you haven't seen them as much, like, or something, or they don't stand out to you as much as this one. But I'm telling you, one of them is a no, is a no, because they're going to use you. What I was getting in the 2 messages that I'm not going to post it just was too confusing. Is they this was a person who wanted sex from you and probably to keep you on the side, man or woman, or they weren't really trying to be serious or something like that. Like, they would fuck with you, okay? And meanwhile, they have like a main squeeze or a main, somebody that they like and love, and it wouldn't have been you. You would have been used by this person, and they would have been kind of like an energy vampire. Whereas, yes, sexy, yes, and if you were to be intimate with that person, it would have been really great, but you would have just been fucked in the end. You know what I mean? There's another one though, and I'm telling you, it's going to be that one. It's going to be that one. I don't know how to explain it. It's going to be the one that's less intense, but I'm telling you, it's just as intense, if not more, but it's going to seem less toxic. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. You'll feel it. Something about one of them will tell you I should probably stay away. Listen to it. Stay away from that one. It will be hard at first, but eventually you'll start seeing that the more that you realize that they don't really care whether you do or not, it'll become easier. Whereas the other one, I'm telling you, they'll start coming around more and making themselves known. The other one may even try a little harder when they energetically feel that you start losing interest, because, I don't know, this could even be totally reversed. Like, maybe you're the right one in someone's life and they haven't known who to pick between you and another person. And they've had this like intense energy with someone else or over someone else, and just like instant type. They didn't even really couldn't put their finger on it why, but then they also have something with you and it's just as intense, but it came at a slower pace, or they didn't see you as often, or didn't hear from you as often, or something like that, right? Like you weren't put in their face as often or at all, and maybe this one was easier to access, to see, to deal with, to cross paths with, something like that, right? But not serious. So they've been kind of in between, and then I think what's going to happen is someone's going to realize, like, you're the one. They're going to realize you're the one. And it's because there's this comfort in you, Scorpio or cross watcher, if this is how it goes, unless it's you that's going to have the two options. You'll get the comfort. Somebody here will get this comfort that overcomes them, that kind of lays on them like an energetic blanket, like a heating blanket, and let somebody know intuitively, I feel comfortable about kind of pointing my energy towards this one instead of this one. Now, if anybody doesn't feel ready here for love, I would say stay away from both entirely together and just focus on yourself. Again, I got that in Sagittarius's message. Somebody who's chosen to do that is actually what's bringing in true love and bringing in real love, or rekindling love, I guess, for some. Because someone isn't like, it's like almost like when in doubt, leave it out. If I don't really know which one it is and I can't really tell, I'm just going to pull away from both of them and focus on myself. And so when I do that, then the right one will come, because the other one, or I will become clear about it, because the other one won't really give a shit whether you are or not, because it was just a fun time for them, or that's what they were hoping for. That's what it would have been if it didn't go anywhere yet. Now, that don't mean that, I'm telling you, once they feel your energy pull away from them, vice versa, if this is another, once the one who was not good for them, once they feel this person's energy pull away from them and start focusing on you, that doesn't mean that they're not going to try to come around even harder, right? And try to do some funny shit then. I'm hearing funny business. That's possible. People will do that. So, all right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.